Imposing, powerful, and not to be underestimated. 15 times elephants went up against the wrong opponent and showed who rules the jungle. But before we start, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Now, let's begin. Number 15, elephant versus rhinoceros. Imagine the ground shaking. It's not an earthquake, not a volcano. It's the mother of all battles. Elephant versus rhinoceros. Two titans that look like they stepped out of African mythology, only made of flesh, bone, and tons of pure strength. If there were a ring in the middle of the savannah, this would be the heaviest fight ever recorded. On one side, the elephant, a living colossus. African males can exceed 6 tons, like parking a truck in the arena. Its tusks, those ivory spears, can tear down entire trees. Its trunk is a multi-purpose weapon. It can lift logs, throw opponents, and deliver crushing blows. And then there's the thick, almost armored skin that resists bites, scratches, and even arrows. When it decides to charge, it's not running, it's an avalanche in motion. On the other side, the rhinoceros, more compact but equally devastating. 2,000 to 3,000 kilos of compressed muscle with a horn seemingly sculpted to pierce anything in its path. This horn, besides being a weapon, is a symbol of pride, inspiration for legends and hunts. But in the savannah, it's pure intimidation. Don't be fooled by its size. The rhino can sprint over 40 km/h. Imagine a car without brakes, equipped with a spear in front. That's how it enters the fight. Comparing weapons, raw strength, clear advantage to the elephant. Bigger, heavier, and able to push even a rhino as if moving heavy furniture. Impact speed. Rhinoceros wins here. Its burst is explosive, striking with the horn before the elephant even finishes raising its trunk. Endurance, technical tie. Both have thick skin and can withstand impacts that would destroy any other animal. Strategy, the elephant stands out, smarter, able to maneuver its trunk and use its weight strategically, while the rhino relies mostly on direct attacks. So, who wins this duel? Despite the rhino's ferocity, the elephant is simply a living wall that's hard to overcome. Its size, strength, and intelligence crown it the victor of this clash. The rhino may inflict serious damage with a well-placed horn strike, but most of the time, it would be dominated by the gray titan with giant ears. And you, reading this, have you imagined being in the middle of this battle? One wrong step, and you'd become savannah toast, crushed under tons of furious muscle. So next time you complain about a crowded bus, remember, it could be worse. You could be caught between an angry rhino and a grumpy elephant. Number 14, elephant versus hippopotamus. Imagine two African giants face to face. On one side, the elephant, the largest land animal on the planet, a living wall of muscle, tusks, and intelligence. On the other, the hippopotamus, with a jaw that looks like a guillotine, a mix between a tank and an angry, overweight crocodile. This isn't just a fight, it's a comparison between two forces of nature. Let's analyze the weight, strength, weapons, and strategy of each. The elephant. Weighing up to 6 tons, the elephant is practically a truck with a trunk. Its thick skin acts as armor. Its trunk is a biological Swiss Army knife, capable of lifting logs, knocking down trees, and crushing anything in its path. And of course, the tusks, 2 ivory sabers over 2 meters long, true harpoons ready to pierce. For defense, there's little to worry about. A body this size rarely needs to retreat. Add intelligence, memory, strategy, and the ability to assess danger before acting, and you have a formidable opponent, the hippopotamus. If the elephant is a wall, the hippo is an amphibious war tank, clumsy on land but king of the water. Hippos can sneak silently, then suddenly open their mouths at 180 degrees, revealing teeth that look like swords. Every bite can crush bones like twigs, and don't underestimate its size. Despite weighing up to 3.5 tons, hippos are incredibly fast over short distances, reaching up to 30 km/h, aggressive, territorial, and infamous as one of Africa's most dangerous animals, even more so than lions. Comparing strengths, the elephant has the obvious advantage in size and raw power. It could simply push a hippo as if moving furniture. A trunk strike or stomp could end any confrontation. On the other hand, the hippo has the advantage in bite force. If it gets close, it can cause serious injuries. The problem is getting close. The elephant's height and bulk make that almost impossible. In water, the hippo might have a better chance, but even then, taking down an elephant is not easy. On land, the scenario changes completely. The hippo becomes vulnerable and the elephant remains the unbeatable colossus. The winner is the elephant, no doubt about it. The hippo is fierce, but in another class of power. The elephant is just too big, too heavy, too strong. It's like putting a skilled boxer against a concrete building. The fight seems interesting, but the outcome is already decided. Now tell me, as a spectator of this clash of titans, which side would you take? The biting tank that terrifies rivers, or the walking wall that dominates the savannah? If you choose the elephant, congrats. You bet on the favorite. If the hippo, well, at least you like surprises. Number 13, elephant versus Nile crocodile. The African elephant is, without a doubt, one of the planet's most impressive animals, a true colossus of the savannah, a giant weighing over 6 tons, carrying tusks heavier than a full-grown human, moving with the force to knock down trees as if they were twigs. Its thick skin is natural armor, resistant to bites, scratches, and the scorching sun. In combat, its arsenal is varied, a trunk that works as a whip and throwing weapon, feet that crush with hundreds of kilos of pressure, and tusks that can pierce like spears. This opponent intimidates not only with size, but also intelligence. Elephants know how to measure force, use their weight strategically, and even cooperate in groups, but alone, they are walking fortresses. On the other side, the Nile crocodile. Don't be fooled by its silent floating in the river. This predator is an evolutionary machine perfected over 200 million years. It can reach 5 meters in length and weigh almost half a ton. Its bite, one of the most devastating in the animal kingdom, over 3 kilograms of force. When it clamps down, the prey's fate seems sealed instantly. It's also a master of patience, waiting hours, days, until the perfect moment. Its attack is lethal, spinning whirlpools of death shred flesh and bone in seconds. But when these colossal forces meet, the elephant dominates land, where its size and crushing power make it almost unbeatable. The crocodile rules the water, ambushing prey at the riverbank. But here's the key: no matter how strong the crocodile's bite is, the elephant's skin and mass make a fatal attack highly unlikely. Many records show crocodiles attempting to bite young elephants, but against an adult, the difference is simply vast. The elephant can crush with a foot, pierce with tusks, or even lift the crocodile with its trunk. The reptile, deadly against zebras, wildebeest, and even buffalo, finds in the elephant an impenetrable wall. Verdict: the elephant is the absolute winner. Its combination of size, strength, and endurance puts it at a level unreachable for the crocodile. The reptile may be a river monster, but against the savannah giant, its aquatic terror becomes almost irrelevant. Now I ask you, curious viewer, who would you be in this battle? The crocodile, patient, strategic, betting everything on a sudden strike, or the elephant, unstoppable, winning through sheer force and intelligence? Think carefully and tell me, which of these giants would you choose on your side? Number 12, elephant versus Siberian tiger. Imagine the largest land animal on the planet against the largest feline in the world. On one side, the elephant, a giant weighing up to 6 tons, a wall of muscle and bone. On the other, the Siberian tiger, the ultimate feline predator, nearly 300 kilos of pure agility, speed, and lethality. The contrast seems disproportionate, but that's exactly what makes this analysis fascinating. The elephant is the epitome of brute strength. Its body is a walking fortress, protected by skin up to 4 centimeters thick and equipped with tusks over 2 meters long. Its trunk is not just a multifunctional arm. It can lift over 300 kilos, uproot trees, throw logs, and crush enemies with a single blow. In terms of endurance, few animals on the planet could withstand the impact of an enraged elephant. It's like putting a tank on the battlefield. The Siberian tiger, though much smaller, compensates with strategy, technique, and refined predatory skills. This feline is a silent hunting machine. It can leap 5 meters in a single bound, run up to 80 km/h over short distances, and carry prey larger than itself. Its retractable claws work like scalpel blades, and its bite can pierce bones. The tiger relies not only on physical strength, but also on intelligence, patience, and stealth, capable of striking vital points with surgical precision. But when it comes to endurance and size, the elephant is almost invincible. The feline would have to penetrate the thick wall of skin and dense fat to reach vital organs. Even with a powerful bite, it's unlikely the tiger could cause significant damage unless it targets extremely vulnerable areas, like the eyes or the base of the trunk. Any strike from the elephant's trunk or a stomp could be devastating, ending the fight in seconds. The tiger would only have a chance in a very specific scenario: a perfect ambush, targeting a young, sick, or isolated elephant. But against a healthy adult in peak condition, the difference in size and physical power is overwhelming, almost literally. The crown goes to the elephant. elephant. Its monumental strength, absurd endurance, and ability to turn the environment into a weapon make it the true dominator of this hypothetical confrontation. The Siberian tiger is a master hunter, lethal and intelligent, but against the terrestrial colossus, it simply stands no real chance. And now, tell me, if you were betting, would you place your chips on feline agility or the crushing weight of the giant? Just be careful not to root for the tiger. You don't want to owe an entire elephant for lunch. It eats a whole forest a day. Number 11, elephant versus African lions. In a group, imagine the golden savanna at sunset, the heat still lingering in the air. On one side, the absolute giant of African land, the elephant, master of tons of muscle, tusks sharp as spears, and almost unmatched strength in the animal kingdom. On the other, one of nature's most coordinated and intelligent groups, African lions, the only felines that hunt in teams, capable of turning strategy into pure lethality. The elephant is not just big, it's a living fortress. An adult male can weigh over 6 tons with skin up to 4 cm thick, almost a natural armor. Its ivory tusks can split trees, and its trunk is a multifunctional tool, both delicate and brutal. It can snap a branch or hurl a predator meters away. When angry, this colossus can run over 30 km/h, enough to crush any threat in its path. In terms of defense, the elephant is nearly impenetrable to lone predators. On the other side, lions do not act alone. A hunting pride of lionesses is a display of precision and teamwork. Each knows its role. Some distract, others ambush from the sides, and together they can take down buffalo, giraffes, and in rare cases, even a young elephant. Sharp claws like blades, a bite over 650 psi, and the endurance for short bursts of speed make the lion group a formidable threat. They target strategic points, legs, belly, always searching for weaknesses that can overcome even much larger opponents. So who comes out on top? Against a healthy adult elephant, even a whole pride of lions is unlikely to succeed. Its strength, size, and resilience make the task nearly impossible. They might injure, but rarely kill. However, if the target is a young, sick, or isolated elephant, the scenario changes. Lions, with patience and coordination, can turn the savanna into the stage for a deadly precise attack. Ultimately, in a direct confrontation, the elephant is the true winner. Its combination of brute strength and near invulnerability is something that even a coordinated lion pride cannot consistently overcome. Now I ask you, if you were in the savanna, would you prefer the safety of being a solitary colossus, untouchable by most, or being part of a sharp, cunning, and strategic group like the lions? Think carefully. In the wild, every advantage counts. Number 10, elephant versus brown bear. Elephant versus brown bear, the duel of land giants. If one day the African savanna and the cold forests of America and Eurasia met, it would create an encounter worthy of an epic documentary. The elephant, the largest land animal on the planet, facing the brown bear, the titan of northern carnivores. Let's start with the elephant. It is literally a walking fortress. African males can exceed 6 tons, stand 3 to 4 meters tall, and carry ivory tusks that function as pure spears. Its skin can be up to 2.5 centimeters thick, making it nearly immune to bites and claws. In addition to natural armor, it has a multifunctional trunk, part arm, part whip, part crushing weapon. A single swing of this trunk can hurl an enemy several meters. Its foot strength is also overwhelming, capable of crushing thick bones with ease. In terms of pure endurance, the elephant is essentially a biological tank. The brown bear does not lag behind in ferocity. It can weigh up to 600 kilograms, and when standing upright reaches nearly 3 meters tall. Pure muscle with a bite force over 850 psi, capable of crushing bones like dry sticks. Its claws, up to 10 centimeters long, are perfect for tearing flesh and piercing prey. Unlike the elephant, which relies on brute strength and colossal size, the bear combines power, speed, and predatory intelligence. It can run at 56 km/h, swim, climb, and adapt to almost any terrain. A versatile, complete predator used to facing large prey like moose and bison. But here's the issue. Against an animal as large as the elephant, the bear loses its main advantage: quick lethality. No matter how strong its claws and teeth are, penetrating the elephant's wall of skin and fat would be nearly impossible. At most, it could inflict superficial wounds. Meanwhile, a single tusk strike, trunk blow, or stomp could instantly end the fight. The bear, despite being a titan among carnivores, faces something even its adaptability cannot overcome: the elephant's immense scale. It's like comparing a tank to an armored car. The car may be agile, but it will hardly survive the frontal impact of tons in motion. Winner, no suspense, the elephant. Its combination of size, strength, and natural defense puts it on a level unreachable for the brown bear. Now I ask you, if the fight were in your backyard, which side would you take? The muscular bear with sharp claws and a hunter's heart, or the giant elephant capable of knocking down even your house wall with ease? I bet you're already imagining the scene. Just hope it's not during your barbecue. Number 9. Elephant versus orca. Imagine the largest land animal against one of the greatest predators of the seas. Elephant versus orca. An unlikely confrontation, but irresistible to analyze. On one side, the gray wall of the savannah, with muscles and bones supporting tons of pure strength. On the other, the ocean's sleek shadow, a natural strategist capable of coordinating attacks with near military precision. The elephant, a terrestrial titan. Weighing between 4 and 7 tons, its physical strength is unmatched by any other land animal. A trunk with over 40,000 muscles, capable of uprooting trees, lifting giant rocks, or crushing any predator that dares come too close. Its sharp tusks, over 2 meters long, are natural weapons for both defense and attack. Its thick hide, up to 3 centimeters, works as real armor, and we cannot forget its intelligence. Elephants have sharp memory, social awareness, and even collective defensive strategies. On solid ground, the elephant is practically invincible. The orca, in contrast, rules the oceans, measuring up to 9 meters long and over 5 tons. It's a hunting machine. Its teeth, about 10 centimeters each, are perfect for grabbing and tearing apart large prey. But brute strength isn't the orca's only trump card. Its social intelligence is key. Orcas hunt in coordinated pods, develop different tactics for each prey, and communicate through specific sounds like battle commands. A single orca is formidable, but in a group, they become nearly unbeatable. Additionally, their speed in water can exceed 50-kilometer weight, an overwhelming advantage against any marine enemy. Comparison: the elephant is unbeatable on land, but completely vulnerable at sea. Its massive body becomes unwieldy outside its natural environment. The orca, on the other hand, is a perfect predator in water, but would stand no chance on land against the gray wall. Conclusion: who is stronger? Considering versatility and environmental adaptation, the orca dominates the seas while the elephant rules on land. But in a theoretical brute force duel independent of terrain, the elephant wins. Its crushing strength, colossal size, and physical endurance make it the most powerful in direct combat. So dear viewer, who would you choose as champion? The giant that stomps the savannah, or the strategist that swims masterfully through the oceans? And if they could swap environments for a day, would you bet on the trunk or the fin? Think carefully, because both the elephant's roar and the orca's call remind us that nature creates no weaknesses, only different ways to reign. Number 8. Elephant versus African buffalo. Imagine 2 African titans face to face. On one side, the elephant, the largest land animal on the planet. On the other, the African buffalo, also called the Black Death by hunters, a true tank of muscle and courage. Both are known for brute strength and a not-so-friendly personality, but in a hypothetical clash, which would be stronger? The elephant enters the battlefield with insane numbers. An adult male can exceed 6 tons, heavier than several cars combined. Its tusks are not just beautiful, they're sharp weapons capable of piercing even trees. And the trunk, a versatile appendage with over 40,000 muscles, capable of uprooting entire logs or lifting an opponent off the ground. Its thick skin, up to 3 centimeters in some areas, acts as natural armor. Force, size, and endurance. The elephant is like a final boss in a video game. The African buffalo may not match in size, but it compensates in other areas. This animal can weigh up to 900 kilos with a compact muscular body. Its main weapon is its head, curved massive horns that join in the center, forming a structure called the boss, as hard as a shield and hammer at the same time. A charging buffalo can generate concentrated force equivalent to a ton, enough to break bones or even flip cars. And its nickname, Black Death, isn't for nothing. It's unpredictable, aggressive, and extremely courageous, even facing lions without hesitation. Contrast: elephant, absolute strength, endurance, and overwhelming presence. Buffalo, smaller, but explosive, brutal in impact, and insanely courageous. In direct combat, the imbalance is clear. The elephant's trunk could flip the buffalo like a toy. Tusks could easily pierce even the horned armor. And in pure strength, 900 kilograms versus 6 tons leaves no doubt. The buffalo is resilient, yes, but the elephant's weight and reach make the fight almost unfair verdict. The winner is the elephant, not because the buffalo isn't a worthy opponent. It terrifies even Africa's biggest predators, but because the size and power disparity is simply overwhelming. The elephant is a walking fortress, while the buffalo, though fierce, is just a war tank. Now tell me, if you had to choose one of these two to be on your strongest animals team, would you pick the fearless buffalo or the unbeatable elephant? I know, it's hard not to pick the giant, but imagine the drama of entering the savannah accompanied by a buffalo with a bad attitude. Who would you take? Number 7, elephant versus gharial. Imagine two worlds that rarely meet, the savannah and the rivers of South Asia. On one side, the elephant, a true terrestrial fortress, a colossus of muscle and bone weighing over 6 tons. On the other, the gharial, a peculiar crocodilian with a long, narrow snout adapted for aquatic life and catching fish with astonishing speed. Elephant in combat. The elephant embodies brute force. It carries ivory tusks over 2 meters long, used as weapons or tools. Its massive feet deliver tons of pressure with each step, capable of crushing the ground or any unlucky enemy beneath it. Its trunk is multifunctional, lifting branches, throwing stones, striking, or even hurling smaller opponents. Gharial in combat. The gharial is a specialist. Its body is built for water, agile, fast, and stealthy. Its thin, sharp teeth are perfect for catching fish, but not for tearing thick flesh. Unlike other crocodilians, like the Nile crocodile, the gharial's bite isn't made for crushing. Its jaw is too narrow to withstand great pressures. Strength versus specialization. On solid ground, the elephant is unbeatable. No gharial attack could penetrate its thick skin or cause lethal injury. A stomp or trunk strike would end the confrontation in seconds. In deep river water, the elephant loses part of its advantage. It can swim, but moves slowly and heavily. The gharial, however, glides through water like a living arrow. Yet even in water, it cannot seriously harm the elephant. Its teeth are made to hold slippery prey like fish, not penetrate thick hide. Verdict: all points considered, the elephant is the absolute winner. Its strength, endurance, and colossal size make it virtually untouchable by the gharial. The crocodilian may escape in water, but it would never win in combat. At best, it can survive by avoiding confrontation. So viewer, tell me, did you expect such an uneven fight? Indeed, sometimes size and pure strength make all the difference. But beware, don't underestimate the gharial. It may not defeat an elephant, but in its environment, it is an absolute master. Now confess, if you had to choose a guard animal for your home, would you prefer a stealthy gharial in the yard or an elephant parked at the door? Number 6, elephant versus giant wild horse. Imagine the scene. On one side, the elephant, the living mountain of the savannah, carrying ivory tusks that look like spears carved for eternity. On the other, the giant wild horse, a colossal equine that carries the force of lightning in every stride, a titan of muscle, speed, and impact. Two giants of the animal kingdom, each armed very differently. The elephant is the king of brute strength. We're talking about an animal that can exceed 6 tons of pure mass. Its feet, when they hit the ground, make the earth tremble. It doesn't run to win. It simply advances like an unstoppable wall. Its tusks can tear through tree trunks, and its trunk isn't just a versatile arm, it's a combat tool capable of lifting, throwing, and crushing. Plus, the elephant's skin is natural armor, thick like a fortress, resisting bites, kicks, and even attacks from clawed predators. On the other side, the giant wild horse isn't your average equine. Imagine an animal taller than any horse you've ever seen, with legs built for explosive speed. It carries the power of thunder in every kick. A single hind strike could break the bones of large predators. Its agility is also impressive. Unlike the elephant, which relies on endurance and strength, the giant horse depends on quick reflexes, spins, and bursts of speed. It's a combination of elegance and brutality. Even its bite, though not its main weapon, can inflict serious damage. Jaws designed to crush tough grass can injure in combat. So who would truly win this duel? The giant wild horse has speed speed, reflexes, and striking power to surprise. However, the elephant is an almost impenetrable wall. No matter how devastating the horse's kicks, the elephant's massive armored body would absorb most blows. If the elephant manages to strike with its trunk or charge with its tusks, the fight becomes one-sided. In the end, the elephant's pure strength and endurance make it an almost impossible opponent to topple. Winner: the elephant. Its colossal mass, multiple weapons, tusks, trunk, and feet, and natural defense are simply superior to the giant wild horse's offensive arsenal. Now I ask you, if you were in this scenario, which side would you choose? Would you ride the giant horse to rely on speed, or prefer the safety of standing next to the walking mountain called the elephant? Number 5. Elephant versus hyenas in a pack. Imagine a 4-ton giant walking through the savannah. The elephant, a true terrestrial colossus, doesn't need to roar or run to be feared. Its mere presence commands respect. In front of it, a pack of hyenas approaches. These creatures don't have the brute strength to topple trees, nor trunks that work as extra arms, but they have something that can rival any land predator: collective intelligence and endurance in numbers. Let's break down the Gray Titan first. The elephant is basically a walking fortress. Its muscles are walls, its ivory tusks function as spears, and its trunk is a multifunctional tool. It can tear branches, lift logs, strike precisely, and even throw dust into an enemy's eyes. Its thick skin acts as natural armor against superficial bites. A single stomp can transform any unsuspecting carnivore into savanna dust. Not an exaggeration, each step applies tons of pressure on the ground, enough to crush bones effortlessly. On the other side, we have hyenas, who never act alone. In a group, they are strategic predators. They work in sync, like an elite team trained to wear down larger prey. Their jaws are among the strongest in the animal kingdom relative to size, capable of crushing bones like dry sticks. Beyond that, hyenas are persistent. They don't give up easily, pursuing for kilometers, wearing down, surrounding, and exhausting. Against medium-sized prey, this strategy is nearly infallible. However, there is a crucial difference. The elephant is not medium-sized prey. It's an armored tank with legs and a memory of steel. For a pack of hyenas, confronting it is like a group of thieves trying to rob a titanium bank vault. Noisy, risky, and nearly impossible. The most they can do is annoy, nibble on the sides, and test vulnerable points like calves or injured individuals. Against a healthy adult, it's like biting a concrete wall and expecting it to collapse. So who is stronger in this encounter? No suspense. The elephant wins. No matter how many hyenas are in the pack, the difference in size, strength, and endurance is colossal. Hyenas may be clever and relentless, but against a full-grown adult elephant, they simply don't have the tools to turn the game. Now let me ask you, if you were in the savannah and had to choose a bodyguard, would you pick a group of clever, noisy hyenas or an elephant that literally turns the ground into a weapon with every step? I know my choice, and I bet you've already decided too, haven't you? Number 4. Elephant versus musk deer. With large antlers. Imagine putting two creatures face to face that seem to come from completely different worlds. On one side, the African colossus, the elephant, whose mere presence dominates the scene. On the other, the mysterious musk deer, small but equipped with antlers that look like living daggers, sharp and ready for combat. At first glance, it seems obvious. How could a 6-ton animal be compared to a creature barely over 25 kilograms? But this is where the spectacle begins. Because in nature, it's not always just weight that determines survival. Weapons, strategy, and context matter too. The elephant is pure fortress, the largest land animal on the planet, over 3 meters tall, with tusks reaching 2 meters in length. It's a walking wall, protected by thick skin up to 3 centimeters, acting as natural armor. Its overwhelming weight turns any movement into brute force. A trunk strike or stomp equals tons of impact, enough to crush smaller bones like dry twigs. Plus, the trunk is a Swiss Army knife. It can grab, lift, strike, and even throw objects. The elephant is not just strength, it's intelligence. Its memory, among the best in the animal kingdom, allows it to assess danger, remember previous encounters, and even use tools to its advantage. In a combat scenario, this translates to calculation and patience. The Colossus knows when to act. The large antlered musk deer operates under a different combat philosophy: lethal precision. Small and agile, it is nearly invisible next to an elephant, but don't underestimate its arsenal. Its long, sharp antlers are piercing weapons designed to penetrate flesh during territorial disputes. Despite its small size, the deer moves explosively, fast as an arrow. Its strategy is clear: win not with force, but with surgical strikes. A well-placed antler could inflict painful cuts, perhaps even hit vulnerable areas on much larger animals. Here we don't have a wall, we have a nimble gladiator betting everything on speed and the edge of its natural weapon. However, when we place these two giants from such different worlds side by side, the scales literally tip one way. The elephant is simply too colossal. No speed, agility, or antlers can overcome a wall of muscles and tons of bone. The deer might scratch, injure, or pierce weak points, but the elephant's sheer physical resilience neutralizes most of that damage. In a fair comparison of strength, the advantage isn't just clear, it's overwhelming. The elephant dominates the stage of raw power and natural resilience. Winner, the elephant. It takes the crown with the ease of someone casually lifting an entire tree. The musk deer, impressive with its sharp weapons, is like a dagger facing a tank. Now, spectator, don't pretend you didn't think, what if the deer were the size of a horse? In that case, the story would be much more balanced. But as long as nature keeps the elephant on the throne of terrestrial strength, no antler can bring it down. After all, if you had to choose who to trust to carry your entire moving load, would you pick the deer or the elephant? Number 2. Elephant versus giant gorilla. Elephant versus giant gorilla. Who rules the arena of brute strength? Imagine the scene. On one side, the elephant, the living wall of nature, with tons of muscles, bones, and tusks sharp as ivory spears. On the other, the giant gorilla, an enlarged version of the largest primate ever, endowed with intelligence, coordination, and absurd strength already frightening in normal size, now multiplied by gigantism. Elephant's combat points: massive weight. An elephant can easily exceed 6 tons, and even a simple body push is like an earthquake on legs. Any land animal would have to think twice. Ivory tusks, far from ornamental, these are weapons capable of piercing and lifting opponents. Elephants have faced lions, rhinos, and even buffaloes, always with advantage. Brute physical strength. The trunk is a multifunctional machine, able to uproot trees, crush bones, and manipulate objects precisely, both a steel arm and a hydraulic hose. Endurance. Elephants are not just strong, they're marathoners of the savannah. They can walk for kilometers under extreme heat and still defend the herd. Weakness. Agility is not their strong suit. They move quickly in straight lines, but have limited short maneuvers, which could matter against a much faster opponent. Giant gorilla's combat points. Incredible muscular strength. Even at normal size, a gorilla is 6 to 10 times stronger than an adult human. Imagine that multiplied by gigantism. The power to crush rocks, bend trunks, or hurl opponents becomes plausible. Agility and mobility. Unlike the elephant, the giant gorilla is fast, can climb, jump, and reposition. Using the environment is a huge advantage. Intelligence. Gorillas are already intelligent primates. On a larger scale, this translates into more elaborate attack strategies targeting enemy weak points. Arms as weapons, fists, claws, and grappling abilities make the gorilla a versatile hand-to-hand fighter. Weakness: less natural protection than the elephant, thinner skin, less dense bones proportionally, and a more fragile structure against massive impact. Verdict on paper: it's a battle between brute strength and immense endurance versus enhanced agility and intelligence. The giant gorilla could land quick attacks, climbing, dodging, and striking, but there's an insurmountable problem: the difference in body mass and resistance. The elephant is almost a walking fortress, able to withstand colossal impacts and return force with trunk strikes, tusks, and stomps. A single stomp could be devastating. The trunk alone could lift and throw the gorilla. Winner, the elephant. Its combination of crushing weight, piercing tusks, and near unbreakable endurance overcomes even the titanic strength of a giant gorilla. Imagine watching this and rooting for the gorilla because it seems humanoid and intelligent. But then the elephant casually shows that sometimes size, mass, and raw power are unbeatable. Number 1. Elephant versus leopard. Imagine putting two completely different worlds face to face. On one side, the African elephant, the largest land animal, a living wall, a walking fortress. On the other, the leopard, master of agility, cunning, silent as a shadow. Both have strengths, but would this duel be balanced? Let's break it down like gladiators in a jungle arena. The elephant, the savanna wall. Adult males exceed 6 tons and 3 meters in height. Their strength is overwhelming. They can uproot trees with their trunk, crush logs, and wield tusks as deadly spears. Their skin, up to 3 centimeters thick, is like natural armor. Sure, there are vulnerable points, eyes, mouth, belly, but most areas are nearly impossible to penetrate. The trunk is multi-purpose: lift, throw, crush, whip. The elephant relies on sheer mass and devastating power, not speed or agility, like a tank facing a martial artist. The leopard, the ghost of the trees. Don't underestimate this feline. It may seem small next to a giant, but it's an elite predator. Weighing up to 90 kilos, it is extremely strong for its size, capable of carrying prey larger than itself into trees. Speed is a major advantage. It can reach nearly 60 km/h in short bursts. Retractable claws are razor sharp, teeth can crush bones and pierce flesh. Intelligence allows it to use terrain, striking silently at weak points. But against an elephant, brute strength is impossible to match. It would rely on patience and precision strikes, and even then, chances are minimal. Winner, the elephant. Its mass, thick skin, and destructive power make the leopard nearly powerless. A single trunk strike or stomp ends the fight in seconds, like a featherweight against a heavyweight in boxing. Technique matters little against physics. So tell me, would you choose the silent agility of the leopard or the nearly unbeatable brute force of the elephant? Which side would you be on in this jungle? Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed our content, subscribe to our channel and leave a like. Check out other interesting content appearing on your screen right now, and I'll see you in the next video. See you next time.